Hello everyone, JT here. Today I want to spend a little time on a topic that you've probably heard a lot about, and you see a lot of posts on it and even read books about it. And that's the whole concept of fear. But unfortunately it's kind of misunderstood. When we read about it, we talk about it, a lot of people think of, however, fear as being some large type of, nasty type of thing that we should actually be afraid of. That's the way we categorize it in our mind, because it has such these strong connotations, this strong word. But I'm brought to mind as I was watching this movie. It's called The Croods. It's an animated film. And the father there, his motto, his name's Grug, his motto was, never not be afraid, okay? So his reaction, this primitive type of individual, his reaction was the best and most safe thing was not to do anything that could possibly cause you harm. Now the reality is, cognitive scientists have discovered that at a very low level in our minds, in our structures in our brain, there are these basic responses. We're not even conscious of them. And they're the responses to getting something that we want, a reward basis, avoiding effort, conservation of energy, and then fear. All of these have about an equal weight. They propel us in different directions. However, they happen at such a low level, a very basic level, reactive level, that we'll just get these senses and feelings, and then when it raises up to our conscious mind, we then try to correlate it and try to figure out why. Well, the fact is whenever we're trying to do something in our business and our life, and we find ourselves wanting to avoid it, that almost always is fear-based. Now again, it's not these fears like I'm going to die, but that's the base level trigger. At that low level, it's fear-based. Now the only way to get past fears is to actually take action. But the problem is when we get these things where we're sensing and avoiding, we don't connect it with a fear response a lot of times. So we fall into this other type of rationalization of why we might be doing something or not doing something. But it's important to recognize that since it's fear-based, the best way to counteract it is to ask the simple question, why am I afraid of this? So whenever you feel like you're avoiding something, ask yourself that question. Why do I fear this? Now, asking that question itself will sometimes propel you past it, because in most cases, asking you that question, the instant answer will be something relatively trivial. I don't feel that it's good enough. I don't think I have the right response from my client. I don't think I'm prepared enough. I can't, whatever it might be. I'm going to be rejected. So, but again, you're not going to die. It's not like a situation where you're going to die. So asking you that question will a lot of times allow you to propel yourself to the next stage, which is just simply taking the action. Now, the other thing that goes along with that is that whenever you feel this avoidance, the worst thing to do is to give time to fear, as Grant Cardone says. The longer you wait, the more your brain, your conscious brain, your intellectual brain, will start to rationalize why you might not want to do this. You're not looking at that it was fear-based at this point. Now you're starting to think of all the different reasons why you might want to do this. I don't have enough time. I'm not quite as prepared as I should be. And those are just your conscious mind trying to rationalize why you should even have this feeling. So the longer you give time to this fear-based notion, this avoidance, the less likely you're going to be to do it. So again, I highly recommend that whenever you're in a situation where you find yourself avoiding it, recognize that it is at a low level, fear-based. There's something that triggered your fear response. So ask the question, why? What am I actually afraid of? Most times it's going to be something trivial. And then the next step is just to go and do the thing right now, to push past it. Have the faith that you can get past it. Have the realization that this thing is not going to kill me in most cases. Certainly if you have that situation where you're avoiding something because it might have that kind of ramification, don't do it. But in most situations in business, it just means just go ahead and do it. Take the action. If you start to consistently do that response, that fear response to those particular activities that you generally avoid, that you procrastinate on, that you don't take any action, will start to fade. You'll train your brain to not have that fear response. But it takes practice. It takes habitual action. And it takes just doing it, jumping off the cliff, right? So that's all I had for today. Hope that gives you some benefit, and I'll talk to you soon.